Thank you for joining me on a new and sixth episode of Flash Knockdown, the show that engages with people of the combat sports world. I'm pleased to say, and representing MMA, the reigning, defending ICE FC Welterweight Champion, Reuben, the Terminator Beresford. Blup, 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 blup. How are you, Reuben?
I'm okay, my man. How are you? How is yourself?
All good, my man. How was your day?
My day was okay, not too bad. Just finished a little 1-9 shift from work, so bit of a late one. But other than that, the day's been fine. How about yours?
All good, man. All good. The weather's not that great. Currently chucking it down. How's the weather where you are, Reuben?
You know what? It's not great at all. It's raining. It started off like a bit of overcast, but it started going down, so it's not been too good the weather, to be honest.
Okay, brilliant. And your nickname, Reuben, the Terminator, very, very appropriate. I must ask, who gave it to you?
So my nickname is Terminator. I got given that by my coach Jason Tan. So the thing is, I remember I was making my debut, and it was in UKFC. I was fighting a guy called Kane Rowlands, and JT, you didn't tell me, Jason. So I've got in the cage.
And his opponent standing across the cage, fighting out of the red corner, representing MMA Academy Liverpool, it's Reuben, the Terminator Beresford.
And I've heard the announcer go, the Terminator. So
Yeah.
at that time, oh, I guess that's me.
So you didn't know?
No, he didn't know. He didn't tell me. So I've seen
Wow.
him sneaking off, going to speak to the announcer, but I didn't know what it was about. And then this sprung it up as a
Wow.
surprise for me.
Wow, that's incredible. Well, I've got to say his choice of nickname is spot on.
I suppose it's fit now. So, he finishes and how my career's gone. It's a fit nickname. At first, I was a bit like, I don't know if this will stick, but I've kind of got used to it. It kind of sticks.
It does stick. It does stick. Absolutely. Thanks for that, Reuben. So before we begin looking at your flash choices, Reuben, could you give the viewers an overview on your MMA career, the gym you represent, and how people can find your work online, please?
Yeah, that's no worries. So I'm Reuben Beresford. I'm 5'2" amateur mixed martial artist representing the Mixed Martial Arts Academy in Liverpool. You can find us if you're local in the area. We're located by Costco. It's literally 5 minutes down the road from Costco. You can find us. You can find me on Instagram at Reuben Legs Beresford. You can find me on Twitter, Ruby Rubes, or you can find me on Facebook at Reuben Beresford. And if you're someone who is interested in any CBD products, you can go to the CBD selection. They're on Instagram at CBD_UK_. Use my promo code Reuben20. You can get yourself some discounts.
Nice, brilliant. Thanks very much for that, Reuben. So,
No
are you now ready for your flash choices, Reuben?
Yeah, I've seen these flash choices, so I'm excited to see what questions you've got for me.
Excellent, excellent. So, for anyone not familiar with this format, Reuben, I will ask you 10 questions with 2 possible answers, and you choose the one that best suits you in a flash. Got it?
Got it. Let's go. I'm ready
Let's
for
go. Let's go. All right. Number 1 then, Reuben. Conor McGregor or Conor Hughes?
Conor Hughes. Got to go with the teammate, of course. Conor Hughes.
That's right. That's right. Little bro, you call him, right?
Yeah, my little bro Conor is me. He's a little wizard. Conor is a good pal. Conor.
Good. LFC or ICE FC?
Wow, that's a tough one. LFC though, got to stay loyal to the football club, so LFC.
Sabretooth or Wolverine?
Ooh, Wolverine. Got to be Wolverine for me.
Sagat or Dalsim?
Ooh, Saga.
For the knees, right?
Yeah, for the knees. Yeah, for the knees. I love a good clinch knee.
Workout 7 a.m. or 7 p.m.?
Ooh, It's got to be workout 7 a.m. I'm an early bird, so 7 a.m. suits me.
Brilliant, brilliant. Mike Wooten or Wu-Tang Clan?
Oh, Wu-Tang Clan. It's got to be Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. Georgetown or George St. Pierre?
George said, actually. I see, you almost had me there. Oh, got to be Georgetown. Got to stick with me roots. Georgetown.
Power or speed?
Speed.
Two more. Terminator 1 or Terminator 2?
Terminator 1.
Okay. There is a Terminator 3, but that doesn't count. It's either 1 or 2, right?
Yeah, it's got to be one of the first two.
Exactly. And then the final one, Echo Arena or Anfield?
Echo Arena. I've got to go with the Echo Arena.
Nice, nice. Okay, you fought there at Cage Warriors 90, right?
Yeah, Cage Warriors 90. I think that was on the card where Paddy and Molly were on the card. So yeah,
That's
that was
right.
fun.
That's exactly right. Cool. So thank you for that then, Reuben. How did you find that?
And that was good. There were some interesting choices. I had to kind of think, but I enjoyed that. I was thinking what's going to be on the Flash 5. So I enjoyed that.
Good. All right. All right. So let's take it back to day one then, Reuben, and get to know what your first memory of martial arts was, please.
Okay, so my first memory of martial arts, at the time I was a 16-year-old kid, a bit I'd say probably a bit shy, a bit reserved. There was a bit really like confidence, much wasn't a bit there. And I had a friend, Lewis. He was training at a Cobon at the time, and he said to me, why don't you come to the gym after school with me and maybe do a few classes. So I ventured there, started doing a few classes, and I kind of was like, I was going some days, and then I was only going when he was going, and then I don't know, it kind of wasn't a fit for me. I was like, I don't know about this, and then I kind of ventured to the MMA Academy. How I got there was basically at the time I wasn't really following mixed martial arts much, but I'd seen a fight, Alistair Overeem versus Brock Lesnar. That was my first martial arts experience, seeing that one. So I remember I saw that fight, and then I was like, whoa, these guys are savages. These guys are beasts. And then I was kind of looking at a gym to go to. And I knew the Ultimate Fighter was on at the time. And Mike Wooten was on the Ultimate Fighter. And I remember I was a big, like a fan of Wooten. So I went, I want to go in there, train with Wooten. And then 8 years later, I'm at the Mixed Martial Arts Academy, Liverpool, just staying there. And first day I went in, I done the 30-day free trial, and I thought I'll stay for a month went to 2 months, 2 months went to a year. But I would definitely recommend martial arts to anybody who's not like, even if you're like a prepubescent teen where you're a bit like shy and low on confidence, just for anybody really, if you're a bit low on confidence and you feel like you need a bit of a confidence boost or something to get you out your shell, I'd recommend martial arts because that's what it really done for me.
Awesome. And who are your heroes growing up, and how did that influence help you in later life?
So my heroes growing up, I liked like a lot of I was a big fan of Junior Dos Santos because I seen him and he was like Sagano. Yes, I was a big fan of Sagano. I seen him knocking people out and looking good, so I started gravitated towards Sagano. And I remember him. I got I think it was UFC Undisputed 2010 back in the day. I got that game, and then I was keep playing Sagano, so I became a big fan of Sagano. And then from there it was Anderson Silva. So I think from the get-go I was a big fan of all the strikers, and then that really influenced me for my style today. I think that's why I'm predominantly a striking-based fighter, is because growing up and like going through my mixed martial arts journey, watching them, it kind of thought, wow, these guys are dedicated to the craft. Maybe I can start learning and get into that craft.
Awesome. And sticking on the theme of influences, I believe your mother is your biggest fan who attends your fights as well. How much of an influence has she had on your MMA career so far, Reuben?
Right. So my mum, she's been a very big influence. She was the first one who really suggested going into martial arts because,
Really?
as explained, yeah, because when I was as explained when I was like 16, I was a bit like shy and reserved, and then my mum probably thought it'd be a good idea for confidence-wise to push me into martial arts, and it helped me come out my shell a bit. And she's been probably one of my biggest supporters and does a really lot for me behind the scenes, because in terms of like nutrition and sorting out me like personal like training sessions to get me ready for fights, she's always recommending me like a diet to have, what's good for losing weight in terms of weight cutting, how she also like was really invested when I started training and fighting. She would just like study the opponent and tell me, I think he's gonna do this, and then she really become like
Wow.
scout reports and that. So my mum's had a terrific, really big influence on my career. Also, I'd have to say it's not only my mum, it's also my sister and my dad too. Because when I first started, we were obviously, I think parents are a bit reserved when their son or daughter's training at a martial arts gym, because with MMA gyms, there's a bit of a stigma. There's egos. There's guys who come in there, trying to hurt you. But at the time, we were a bit iffy about it. And then as I started progressing and you see how I started to come out of my shell and become a bit more confident in it, they were really about it and making sure I was going to classes. And if you see me mum's videos when she records me fights, she's always screaming. You can hear her screaming and
You can
shouting.
hear her. Okay.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
loud. She's always screaming and shouting. Like every time like I'm walking out to go to the cage, I always look and I always can see me mum, and I can always hear her screaming and shouting on my videos. She gets more excited than me sometimes.
Wow. And that's saying something. How else has martial arts positively impacted and perhaps even changed your life, Reuben?
It really impacted me well because with martial arts, it gives you a sense of discipline and respect. I feel like with martial arts, if you come in with arrogance and a big ego, you're gonna get humbled very quickly.
Hmm.
Because if you come into a gym and then you're coming in sizing everybody up, you're gonna go onto the mat, and then especially with jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai and the other disciplines, you're gonna get humbled very quickly. So martial arts taught me not to be very like humble, very respectful. And what I like about it too is the discipline factor, because you've got to stay disciplined in this game to really get ahead and really become better. So it gives you a sense of this is why I like taking fights, to be honest, because it gives me a goal to work towards and achieve. And for me, the fight is like the ultimate goal of all your discipline and your sacrifice that you've put in behind the scenes, however long the camp is. If it's a 6-week camp or an 8-week camp, it really shows that the work that you've put in, you've dedicated yourself to get to this point. It's also good that martial arts is also gives me a platform to express myself, and also I say people may reach out like, oh, I've had people reach out in the past, oh, you train at the MMA Academy, would you recommend it? How is it? So I think people see you in martial arts and they might be interested themselves and may not have the confidence, and they see somebody doing it, they reach out to yourself to see, what's it like, and how it can change their life. For martial arts, to me, it had a big impact in my life and making sure and bringing me, I'd say, making me more mature and more wise.
Okay. And was competing always part of the plan? And also, how did you determine that you were ready to compete?
Okay, so in terms of competing, it's actually quite interesting. When I first started, I was just doing it as explained to train and come out of my shell. And then the way competing really arose, Jason JT, or Coach Jason, or like we call him JT, said to me, so I've got this inter club. How do you feel about maybe getting in on the inter club? So I thought, yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll have a go. So I done the interclub, and obviously interclub's like learning, but you have people like watching, and it's more like I'd say it's more like a learning experience, like maybe like a bit of a spa type thing. And then I remember going in there and just walking, and then when I had my interclub, and it just felt like so natural, and then I felt like so calm and like relaxed. And then from there, Jason said, you know what, there's no reason why you can't do MMA. What do you think about having this fight? And I thought, maybe I'll have the one and then I'll just leave it at that. And so then I had the one. And then it was just, you know what? I keep going with this and
It's
just see
easy.
how far I can go. Yeah, it was just easy. Like
24,
that.
24 seconds.
24, I know that was a good fight, that though. I mean, 24, it was impressive for a debut, but it was just like, wow, maybe if I continue on with this, I can see how far I can go, really. But it's always funny, as I said earlier, competing was never in the plan. And I think with that being said, I was one of those who came just to train. And I think if you come in just to train, you may even find yourself like me down the line, maybe just competing and see how far you can go.
Yeah, absolutely. Agreed. And you've just mentioned Coach Jason Tan. How good is it having someone like Jason Tan with his know-how, his experience? He's been there, done it. He's reached the highest level in the sport, and almost dedicated his life to martial arts. How's that for a young and up-and-coming competitor like you, Reuben?
Having Jason is I'm very fortunate to have someone like Jason who's been in the UFC, being to the highest level. I mean, the thing about Jason, he's very knowledgeable. So, and the thing, he's very honest too. If you want his honest opinion, he'll give you the honest opinion about how he thinks about your game and how he thinks you can improve. So, for me, as a young fighter, being able to train under such a high level coach like Jason, it really is a great experience, because I can learn, I can see where I'm going wrong, and it's quite humbling, to be fair, to have someone with his know-how, because he's got a good mixed martial arts brain too. Also, having him, and again, like I mentioned earlier, Mike Wooten, it's mind blowing, because they have so much knowledge.
Masterminds.
And exactly, the mastermind. So me being in a gym where I can learn from them and add things to my game, it's very humbling experience.
Nice. And how would you describe your fighting style for anyone that hasn't yet watched you compete?
My fighting style, you know what? I've gone back and forth a few times with my fighting style about how to describe it. I think what probably comes in mind is aggressive pressure fighter, maybe, because I think in a lot of my fights I'm always like going forward, and I'm always on the attack, and I think that probably describes my style. I'm an all action type guy. Soon as the bell goes, I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you, and I'm coming for that finish. So you can always, suppose, count on me to put on an exciting fight and a devastating knockout.
Definitely. And is there a competitor that you model your game on?
You know what? I never over the past few years, I've started like studying certain fighters and picking things from them. So for me, I always used to study Anderson Silva to see like how he would control a range and how he would set things up in traps, and Sagano Junior dos Santos. I would study them to see, okay, how he's setting them up. As I've progressed, I've started studying a lot of boxes and seeing how they set things up, and kind of taking things from other boxes and putting into my games, like Manny Pacquiao, Juan Manuel Marquez, the list Muhammad Ali. I've started looking into their games, Gennady Golovkin, Billy Joe Saunders. I've started like analysing their game, like what are they doing? How are they controlling this range? How are they setting this up? Again, Andre Ward's another one I've been watching a lot. So as I've progressed, I've really been looking at boxers, and also I've been looking at grapplers too. So what I usually do, I have like a boxing study where like I'll watch a certain boxer, see how they're setting things up, and then I do like a grappling study. So I look at people like Khabib, Colby Covington, Damien Maia, you know, like, so good grapplers and wrestlers. How are they striking to get the takedown? How are they chain wrestling? When they're on the mat, what type of control are they using? And I'll try and like implement that in my practice and add it to my game.
Makes sense. Very, very sensible. And just coming back to Anderson Silva, is there a particular highlight reel that comes to mind?
Oh, Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort front kick. That was
That's my screen. That's my screensaver on my laptop.
It's a good screensaver to have, and then the finish was how he set it up was just wow. Just at the time, nobody was throwing front kicks to the face, and then he just revolutionized the game with front kicks to the face.
Yeah, agreed. Is there any part of your game you don't feel, for whatever reason, you've had an opportunity to showcase?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I feel like for me, the main part of my game I haven't had a chance to showcase yet is well, there's two parts. Firstly, is me grappling. I don't think because I've had like a lot of quick finishes and a lot of quick stoppages that I haven't had an opportunity to show like me grappling and what I've got on the floor. Because I still feel like with my best performance is yet to come, because I'm yet to be able to integrate all my skills. Like I haven't had a chance to show me me grappling, like me jiu-jitsu, what happens when I've been taken down and held down for a period of time. Because I know people will be watching my game and be like, okay, what's he like when what's he like off his back? What's he like in top position? And what's his wrestling like?
We haven't seen it.
Exactly. We haven't seen it. I haven't had a chance to show that because I'm happy to finish fights quick, but at the same time, I'm not, if that makes sense, just due to the fact that I haven't had enough cage time and opportunities to show different aspects of my game. But I know when those questions come, I'm excited to answer them, and you're gonna see my best. I can't wait to show my best.
Cool. And how did you feel leading up to your first fight back in 2017 versus Kane Rowlands?
Right. So my first fight, you know what? It was, I just felt so relaxed. It's a weird thing because I remember that fight, all the lead up and the training.
Yeah.
I felt so relaxed and I felt calm. Like it's weird. Like I don't really get nervous. I know it's a bit mad to say that. Even backstage, like I don't get nervous, because I remember a conversation when I was backstage with Jason in the lead up to that. I was like, I'm not nervous, you know. And he's like, you don't look at it. Nah, I just feel like relaxed. And I've noticed, like, as my fights have gone on, I don't get nervous. I just feel like dead relaxed and dead calm. And so going into that first fight, I mean, he was, I think he had like, what was he, 5-6 fights? So again, that's a lot of experience to me, who came into the sport. I'd never thrown a punch, I'd never thrown a kick or grappled. I came from like athletics background, just running. So I'd never done that. I felt just remarkably calm and relaxed against someone who probably been training, and he'd done like kickboxing beforehand. There was no nerves or anything. It's just like go in there and do what you do. And I think that comes with training at the academy, because every day I get more nervous going to spar at the gym, because you walk in and like there's Lawrence Fitzpatrick there. I don't know if you know Loz Fitz. He's really high level. If it weren't for injuries, you'd probably see him in like Bellator or one of these big promotions. Like going into the gym, I'm training with Loz Fitzpatrick, Tim Barnett, Chris Green. We've got Kinney, we've got Sedo. So I get more nervous going in to spar with them guys, because I just know how high level they are, and I know what they're giving me in the gym is more than potentially, it is nothing compared to going in and fighting these guys who at the time had more experience than me.
What did you know about Kane Rowlands, bearing in mind he had 5 amateur fights?
You know, to be honest, I'll tell you a funny story.
Please.